hope it all goes well.
I hope it all goes well.
Yeah, thank you.
Jason. Again. It's funny because the last time I actually met Jason, he was interviewing me. So this has been a tables turn.
I run apart from my Korean-related podcast, I run a micro-budget filmmakers podcast, and we have a little Zoom call.
Yeah. So I'm a producer for those people that don't know. I'm a film production company as well as being involved with the organisation of KIFF. Sewol. We've seen a lot about the disaster and the impact of that and the number of people that died. I guess, what does it mean to you personally? What drew you into the subject?
Well, as I'm a video artist primarily and filmmaker second, and I'm an activist third, but I've been with this cause for 11 years, and there's at least one of the fellow activists here. And we were having monthly as it tells you in the film, I probably don't need to explain it, but we were having monthly memorials in Trafalgar Square. I only had an interesting career, as it talks about, and we were having, as I said, we were having those monthly, and we also brought them to New Malden, and then I started living in New Malden as well, and I wasn't meaning to document it originally because I was an activist. So there's a lot of Korean filmmakers out there that have also made some films from different angles. I think it briefly touches on, there were 6 films last year in the Jeonju International Film Festival. So those gave me further inspiration, but it was
all about Sewol as well.
Yeah. I mean, like when this happened, I don't know if you remember it, 11 years ago on the BBC News, it was probably on there for about 3 days. And then it kind of disappeared, so you don't know. So in Korea, it's like Titanic, it was huge. It was like mostly children, and that I wasn't, when I did the memorials, we did start doing them as a kind of political thing against the Park and Air government at the time, because it shouldn't have happened. Whoever was.
Am I right in thinking that essentially it spurred a conversation around cover-ups and the protection of image over the reality potentially of what's actually happened, the causes. So rather than looking at safety in transport in the sense of improving safety and looking at what happened, how can we change that better in the future, there was a lot of cover-up activity.
Yeah, there was. The captain jumped the ship, and there was rumours of other parties trying to help out. Like apparently, we're not sure how. This is why we continue to do it, to try and get more answers, because there's so many questions left unanswered. But there was meant to be some Navy from the USA around that offered to help on that day, but there was pride, and the TV channels were telling the Korean public that everyone was saved. So it was focusing on the wrong stuff really.
And also, I guess, touching on that with pride and national pride, with the disaster being in national waters, the US Navy would have had to have permission from Koreans to come and help, because you can't just drive on into somebody else's country. Contrary, if you were in the middle of the ocean, anybody can come and help, and actually you're mandated to do so.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I don't go into details of this. As I say, there's filmmakers that have done a better job of explaining it, and also I feel like, not being Korean, I'm not at liberty to, as much as me and my activist friends in England, they know more than me something. There's Koreans and non-Koreans, and I don't feel like I'm the best person to be talking about politics in it. But you're right, there was so much stuff behind the scenes, so I wanted to do it strictly from a memory point of view and a tribute. And it's made for Koreans essentially, so I'm hoping to get it in some festivals there. It is hard hitting. It's difficult. I'm a video artist. It's difficult to be not indulgent, but at the same time speaking on behalf of the Remembering Sewol UK group.
Sure.
And just to elaborate, as you can see, that video art was what spurred me on in 2017. But I didn't know if I should do it. I spoke to some family members even last year, and I said, is this right? Because it might be invoking tears, because the music is by Moby. I don't know if you probably know Moby, he's a very famous musician. And I wanted, you want, as a filmmaker or video artist, you want to evoke some emotion, but I spoke to one of the fathers of the victim, and he said, it's fine, you're still getting it out there, because I was worried just for doing it just for that sake.
Sure. Does anyone in the audience have a question? Thought I saw a hand. please.
I want to ask, did you say hi? And it was lovely. Did it take you? But you said you worked on it for 10 years, or yeah.
Yeah.
So you began...
Hi Jenny, I didn't expect you to be here. That's brilliant. So yeah, as I said, I was an activist first. So I didn't really document much, apart from the photos that everybody was taking, including myself, of course. You know, it was accidentally made. You know, as you can see, it's not really, I didn't start videoing it as a documentary back then. I was already interested in the Navy base in Jeju Island, which is another political hot potato. So, yeah, it was, what was that the question was? It was when did it start?
Yeah, like I thought something about some lovely film work and consider creativity. Yeah, no, because you said you began it 10 years ago, so did you use footage from the past and then decide a few years later you want to make it into, how did it come about?
Yeah, it was that footage from the mock pole to harbour in 2017. I made something with it and it's almost as it was. From 2018, I just sat on it thinking, I want to show this, but I don't know if it's video art. You know, I've had video art in Kingston before, and I didn't know if it was fitting. So then I recorded something in Bangkok last year, it's just, you know, footage of me, because I didn't really feel that footage was professional enough, you know, as it wasn't meant to be at the time. It was just what I wanted to capture, and it was very emotional. Just 3 years after it happened, as I said, it was raining, I was quite teary myself. So it was kind of, I built the film around that and then made it into 10 parts. Yeah, essentially.
Nice. Were there any other questions? The lady here?
Not a question, just to say that I thought the other movie was very good with the mother and son.
Yeah, the other Jason's film.
Very, very good.
Yeah, I especially thought your performance was fantastic, by the way.
Well,
sorry. And it's we've had a great selection of films, and I guess for you guys, or Jason, is there anything that you wish that we'd asked that we haven't asked, or that you want to say or tell us about your films, new projects, anything? Filming in Kingston, even.
I mean, I'd just say I think it's astonishing variety that you get from a film festival like this, and I think it's wonderful that we've got a section in it that is rooted in the borough. I think it's wonderful.
Yeah, and talking of which, there's more going on today, so let me pull up the little timetable to tell you a bit more about what's going on after this. So we're at 12:30 now, so talking of workshops, if you want to go learn more about filmmaking, there's a workshop in the townhouse at 1:30 called Your Film in Bits, which will break down the process of filmmaking and how to put something together, similar to the film on a shoestring kind of thing that you did last year. There's a children's animation workshop in here in another hour or so. If you want to learn about The Who, or if you're a fan of The Who, there's Adrian Wotton from Film London in the main auditorium a little bit later on as well. You can go do some stunts in the townhouse, that's the second workshop. So there's things going on all day. Please do come back. It's been a pleasure having you here, and thank you for coming. Hope you enjoyed the film.